Alright. And we're back with Bleach! Episode 11! We're almost done, Dai. I'm really sad. Aren't you?
Oh well, you win some, you lose some.
Well, first, like we predicted, Nemaya's voice actor was posted literally a day or two after the last episode went up, so... And, we were both right. That's the sad part.
Double casting is the best.
I'm gonna butcher this pronunciation. Kotaro Colbert? I think is how you pronounce that. He was both Killer Bee and Killer Bee's friend Dory from the Naruto franchise. So see?
Aww.
Killer Bee Anna supported it. He was also Luke Cage in Marvel Disc Wars. And add voices in American holy shit. Okay. Well, either way, we know who that is now. Speaking of which, I guess let's get right into it. The episode opens with him talking to Renji about how Renji also knew why he had to send Ichigo home. Because there was no way an Asauchi would have ever accepted Ichigo. Because Ichigo's a I mean, because Ichigo's Zanpakuto wasn't forged by Nemaya. Go on.
Because what? Ichigo's an emo. Wait, what?
Yeah. Makes no sense. He goes on to explain that he knows every single Asauchi he's ever forged, and how every Soul Reaper is given a nameless one to train with for years and years until it awakens its unique powers. So, because every Asauchi is given to a Soul Reaper, including Kenpachi, who picked up his from a dead Soul Reaper on the battlefield a while back, this makes Ichigo the only Soul Reaper in history who never had an Asauchi made by Nemaya. Which is why he'll never be accepted or noticed by one. So he needs to return home and find out where he comes from in order to be able to move forward so he can work on fixing Zangetsu at some point.
So he has to find himself again.
Yep. Cut to Ichigo back in front of the clinic in his normal body. And Isshin, his daddy, shows up to try greeting him. Still Patrick Seitz, if anyone's going to ask. I mean, he was just Kenpachi, so...
That would be silly pretty if it stupid, but there's been stupider.
Also, this, yes, does mean Patrick Seitz ate up being the major voice actor for the back half of this core because of double casting. Because we're stuck with Isshin for the rest of this.
It's what you would have wanted.
Well, Ichigo runs away, all the way to Ikumi's house. That's his boss from the Fullbring arc. So he can take a shower and freshen up and all that shit. And be emo.
But why does he need to take a shower? He was standing in the rain, and clearly that's a substitute for a shower.
Yeah. Well, Ikumi was voiced by Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, but now she's voiced by Marie Westbrook, who's Dorio from Cyberpunk Edgerunners, and Hanami from Jujutsu Kaisen. And I think she sounds close enough. I'm not sure a casual would honestly notice on this one.
And especially if you watch back when it's airing on Toonami, you forget this character even existed.
What, on Toonami? Yeah.
Yeah, if you didn't rewatch it, you would probably have forgotten this character existed.
I'm not so sure. She has a shit ton of fanboys. Well,
I'm talking about for people who just went straight into watching it without
a refresher thing.
Doing a refresher.
Yeah. Like I said, she sounds close enough, so. She assures Ichigo and is like, "Don't worry, I'm here for you, man." And she says she seems like she's like an older sister to him. Now, one of the exchanges they cut from the manga here is Ichigo making fun of her, saying, like, "How can you be my older sister? You're like over a decade older than me." Which, I'm kind of glad they cut the comedic thing here. It makes sense this time. Since Ichigo is emo, him having comedic, quippy one-liner retorts wouldn't make much sense with how depressed he is right now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But the doorbell then rings, but no one is there when Ikumi goes to answer it, except it's Isshin and his Soul Reaper thing. So, you know, she can't really see him.
I gotta go now. My dad ghost is... I mean, my ghost dad is here.
Well, Ichigo leaves without his substitute badge. That's how you know he's emo. Isshin talks to Ichigo alone, as he isn't surprised Nimaiya sent him home, saying Ichigo doesn't know the first thing about himself or where he came from, that it's finally time. That, you know how he was going to tell Ichigo everything during the Aizen showdown? And Ichigo's like, no, tell me when you're ready to tell me. Well, the time is now. As it's revealed that Ichigo's mother is indeed a Quincy, like Yuha was saying.
No, wait, I think that was said, and it's true.
I know! But it's time, Dai, for another flashback mini-arc. Don't you like those?
So it's just a pendulum mark again?
Yep. Instead of 100 years back, though, it's only 20 years back. So we see a younger Rangiku, younger Hitsugaya, and the captain of Squad 10 at this time, who was Isshin. Which would explain why he wasn't in the last pendulum arc, because they wanted to keep that secret until now.
That's a secret.
Yeah. You have a little bit of a comedic bit here or whatever, where Ishin's hiding at a tree, Rangiku finds him and shit. But, yeah. He comments how proud he is of Hitsugaya and how he'll make a fine captain someday, as Rangiku's like, wait, I'm not, you can't do that, I'm the lieutenant after all. Well, Rangiku, you're not gonna like how this story ends then. But hey, Dai, we don't have time for this, do you know why? Because a report came in how a Soul Reaper stationed in the world of the living died! After 2 Soul Reapers died before that who were stationed at that exact same area. It's like a horror movie, man. Apparently they already placed... What's up?
It's a movie about you?
I said horror, not whore. Well, they were stationed at Naruki City, a town under Squad 10's jurisdiction, so they have no choice but to investigate. As Isshin tells them he's going to head out alone, when Rangiku protests, Hitsugai's like, no, it's because it could be dangerous, you and I have to stay behind in case shit goes wrong. See, he's already demonstrating patience. Perfect captain material. Cut to Aizen and friends, with Ichigo, yes! See, Dai? I could do it.
Unfortunate.
And Token... Wait, he's not Token anymore. He got replaced by someone who's actually good at voice acting. Shit. Well, yes. We're back to Tosin, and who's, with a third voice this time.
Unsurprising, really.
Yeah. This time he's voiced by AJ Beckles, Takemichi from Tokyo Revengers, or Musashi from Orient, because he really wants to be the blind Nuka Samurai from Boondocks. What, he's voiced how many samurai now?
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not sure how much his voice fits for Tosin here compared to the first VA, but I'll take anything at this point over the last dude we had. I'm sorry.
Anyone who doesn't sound like Andrew Ruth.
So yeah, he's fine. I'll take it. Well, Tosin talks about how they modified a hollow that could target and infect others with the hollow virus. I mean, make others holify. But the process doesn't seem to work very well on Soul Reapers and humans, since they can't really handle it. As Aizen's like, oh, don't worry about it. We're getting good data. And hey, it's helping us also narrow down the locations where Shinji and the other Vizards are. He doesn't call them Vizards, but you know what he means. 2 birds with 1 stone, all according to Cake. What? And
during the scenes we get with Tosin in this section, it's like, man, he really was putting on an act to try to look like he was calm.
Yeah. Gonna see him lose his cool in a bit.
He if there was a table in front of him, he would have fucking flipped it.
Yeah. Well, Isshin arrives at Naruki City as two Soul Reapers are talking about how, oh god, it's about to rain, and the last time it rained, the guy stationed here died. Oh, I'm sure we'll be fine.
I hope I don't. I sure hope I don't die. My name is something. I don't know, though.
Isshin tells them they need to get the hell out of here immediately, and I'm sure they'll listen and be fine.
And then they died.
Well, that's in the future. First, we gotta cut to Ryuken's household, where he's much younger here, too. And it's still Chris Swindle trying to do a different voice, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh. As his mother is talking to a teenage Misaki. So first, his mother, Izumi, is voiced by Alison Picard, whose Hina from Vampire Dies in No Time, and Toodles from Tom and Jerry 2014, as well as a shit ton of other things.
Most importantly, they were in Eat Let, the return of Matt Hazard as Alphonse.
Damn it. Some of her lines sound like Karen Strassman to me. That's why I wasn't sure who it was at first. You heard it, right?
At least this specific voice.
Yeah. Well, Misaki, meanwhile, who we're pretty sure is voiced by Jeremy Lee, hasn't been listed yet, but give it a couple of days. You all know, Lucy from Fairy Tail, Lola Pechka from Black Clover. I'm not calling her Laura Pechka, fuck off. But yeah. As it's revealed that she needs to take her Quincy training seriously, being the last member of the Kurosaki royal bloodline. This also means Isshin took her last name. What a cuck. Then again, I guess you have to...
Probably the best thing to do if you're going into hiding, clearly.
Yeah, and also he's from the Soul Society. If you marry someone in the world of the living from a different dimension, I guess the world of the living name would take priority. So, makes sense. But yeah. She was only taken in because she's a pure-blooded Quincy, not one of those half-blooded impure Quincies. Because, you know, Quincies are Nazis or whatever. And I guess royal bloodline too and all that shit.
You forgot to add a knot there. They're clearly not Nazis. What are you talking about?
Ryuken comes in and tells his mother to calm down. Well, Misaki leaves, as we cut to Ryuken speaking to Katagiri, another Quincy that's there, who's a mixed-blood Quincy. And I have no idea who voices this chick.
We'll find out eventually. Or not. You never know.
Well, he's talking to her about how him and Misaki have an arranged marriage, but he's not sure about it because he really wants her to be happy first. Oh, hey, look, an arranged marriage where the person she's about to marry isn't a complete penis. I'm shocked to see that. But, yeah. Kataka was like, well, I'm surprised you're worried about such things. After all, first and foremost, you need to worry about preserving the Quincy bloodline, since the Ishidas and Kurosakis are, like, the last royal bloodlines left that we know of and all that shit. But back in the pouring rain, as Isshin thinks to lure out the assailant that took out the Soul Reapers by charging up his spiritual pressure. And this is when we meet it, Dai. Are you ready for the monster?
Yeah.
It works. As a fully black hollow appears after it had killed the two Soul Reapers that he told to leave. Now, either they stuck around and were idiots, or they didn't make it very far. But I like to think they were stupid because they were Soul Reaper red shirts.
No, they stuck around and were idiots.
Yeah. But Dai, its hole is even filled in. Can you believe it? Yeah. This hollow is known as Hollow White by Aizen, because he makes it out how it's covered in all black, but its inside are white or whatever. It's the irony.
Really filled in that hole.
Yes. It's a hollow in blackface. It lets out a blood-curdling scream that would probably scare the shit out of anyone as the fight gets ready to begin. Misaki senses the start of the fight and wants to go help, but Ryukin stops her, saying that Quincy's usually wait till the Soul Reaper fighting the Hollow is dead first before interfering and taking out the Hollow, and even then, a mixed-blood one like Kateguri would be sent out, instead of risking the pure-blooded one's safety. Oh, yeah. Cut back to Isshin as he's losing ground against the Hollow, clearly on the defensive, and he comments how it's fighting more like a Soul Reaper than a Hollow. Oh my god, it's a prototype Iran car! That's basically what this thing is. Well, his battle with the thing takes it all the way to Karakuta Town, which is under Squad 13's jurisdiction. Are you ready for another red shirt to get fucked up?
Well, they don't have a name, so they don't matter.
Yeah. Hollow Whitey over there fires a Cerdo at the poor guy. As we cut back to Misaki, saying she refuses to stand by and not help if someone needs her help to save them from dying. That she could never forgive herself. And that, damn it, she's gonna help people in need. As this sounds like something Lucy would say straight out of Fairy Tail was my first thought. And
I'm
she
sure,
rushes
I'm sure
off.
you can hear her say that in a lot of things.
Yeah.
She's bad enough.
Well, she heads for the battlefield. Isshin believes now that someone in Soul Society has to be responsible for this monster because of the way it could fight, as he goes Shikai. And now we can actually see what a Shikai does. Die, hit it. What the fuck can he do?
Here, have a fireball.
Isn't that the same thing Amagai's ability was? Can he fire, like, fireballs from his Zanpakuto too?
I think he turned it into... I think it had, like, grew, like, cannons or some shit.
Yeah. Well, before he can do anything serious to the monster, he's struck down from behind by Aizen! Yeah, apparently him, Gin, and Tosin are using the Reiatsu concealment cloaks that Urahara was using back during the Pendulum Arc. So... Isshin, though, doesn't know, or he knows it wasn't the monster that hit him, as he was indeed struck by a Soul Reaper, and he realizes that Soul Society has a traitor!
Again? Probably. It is Soul Society.
Well, he can't go Bankai because of his wounds, but he is able to fire a blast out, severing the Hollow's arm, because it's Bleach, and we haven't had enough arm severing yet. And Misaki's here now. Well, before Isshin can be hit by a Sero, she fires an arrow to get the monster's attention. As this is one of the panels from the manga that was memed to hell and back when Aizen notices a Quincy's arrived on the scene, and he's got a very amused look on his face. You know the look, right, Dai? You've seen it, I'm sure, memed 100 times if you've looked anywhere. It's like, oh, yeah. Quincy, yes. Well, Misaki has no choice but to let herself get hit by the monster, so that way she can hit it at point blank, because it's moving too fast for her to get a clear shot. She does, and it's dead. Hollow White is gone! Why do the monsters always die so young?
Oh, well, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah. Isshin thanks her for saving him and asks who she is, as she's not sure. Well, he's a Soul Reaper, and Quincy's and Soul Reapers don't get along very well. Fuck it, I'll tell him who I am. And she's worried about how he'll react, but he seems happy to meet a Quincy. He's like, I've never met one before in person. This is cool, man. She's like, wait, really? I mean, are all Soul Reapers as kind as him? Because if so, then I'm sure Quincy's and Soul Reapers could get along fine. We don't need to worry about shit. Yeah, no, do not do that.
No, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah. Ryukin arrives with Kateguri. I really fucked up saying that.
Do you want to try that again?
Kateguri. As he says, Misaki is safe, so we don't need to worry about it. But to keep this a secret from their mom, because, yeah, probably wouldn't go very well. Oh.
Go as well as you'd think.
Well, being as how we could clearly tell here, Ryukin was kind of cocked, might explain why he has a bit of tension with Isshin over here. Cut to Aizen, friends, as Tosin is fucking furious about what happened to the Hollow and how it's self-destructed here.
Yeah. Like, this is the real Tosin the whole time. He was never as calm as he was acting.
Yeah, it's clear he was just trying to emulate Maru and Aizen over there because of how calm and collected they are. He's like, it infected Misaki or whatever. He didn't say her by name, but because of that, it surpassed its target stage, and thus it's dead. It was a failure! As Aizen's like, no, it's cool. Actually, I'm curious to see what'll happen, because a Hollow created from a Soul Reaper, now hollowifying a Quincy, what the hell could happen next? I can't wait to see what happens. As that dialogue...
I can't wait to see the baby.
Yeah, this would explain how Ichigo might have full bring shit, since, you know, what happened to his mom. Also, him saying he can't wait to see what happens next closes out the episode, as if he's trying to comment on what the viewers are thinking, and we gotta have a dick cliffhanger somehow. But we're not done yet. Post-credit scene, which is anime only. It's Uryu in the rain, all alone. As Pashwada... What's up?
Wait, what?
He is emo. But Hashwald approaches him, and that's it. And trust me when I tell you, these anime scenes with Uryu are incredibly important and really flesh out his side of the story. Because in the manga, it was really undercooked. And that's how our episode ends. With our preview by Isshin, because both Patrick Seitz roles get their own preview.
Of course. It's clearly in his contract.
Well, thoughts on the episode. Fucking great episode. I always love these backflash episodes of Bleach. I know it's flashback, but fuck it. I always think these are great and usually done really well, because we learn more about this history of the Soul Society and stuff. It's why a lot of people think they could make a spin-off prequel series on the first 13 squad captains or whatever, and maybe go somewhere with that.
That depends on how much they want to milk it dry.
Being as how we're separating this in the cores every 6 months or so from what it looks like, yeah, it's clear they're going to do something after this is done. They're not going to let Bleach die again. It's making too much money right now.
Maybe release the light novels as mini arcs or something.
A lot of people would like them to do that, myself included.
You know, those light novels are the only reason we know why someone is related to Ikaku.
Yeah, you know Shino, who kind of fucked off, the Amberly Connors character? That's Ikaku's sister. You only find that out in the light novels. But back to this episode, yeah, it was a really good fucking episode. I'm interested to see what the dub is going to do next, though, because after this was where they combined 2 episodes into one for the finale in Japan. Eps 12 and 13 were one chunk. But we're probably going to split that up, aren't we?
It's definitely going to be split up. I'm pretty sure it's 2 separate episodes on Hulu.
Yeah. So...
They could put them both up, but who knows?
If they do, we'll be back with a double-length Dubster dive, but if not, we'll be here with just 1 episode. What if so what you all thought? MVPs of the episode. I actually think Patrick Seitz did really good as Isshin. So, he's doing good as both characters, man.
Really, he did good as the character he's been voicing since the show began.
Yeah. And hey, at least Tosin got someone who's competent to voice him again. All it took was him dying to get that.
Yeah, you just need to come down with a sudden case of death to get that Andrew Ruth fan out of him.
But alright guys, let us know what you all thought of this ep of Bleach and if you agree. And we'll be back next time with episode 12, the next part of Everything But the Rain. Yeah, all they did was, they just still titled it Everything But the Rain, just a different suffix after that. That's it. Well, until next time, hope you have yourselves a great day, and we'll be back. So until then.